Would you actually believe I'm in a theme park? Oh, I don't want to touch it. Oh, I'm just going to have a little touch. Hello and welcome to Rob's Small World. From the sign behind me, you will see we're at Flower and Garden Festival. So it's a bit of a botanical video today. We're going to see as many plants and flowers as we can. So let's go take a look around. Epcot is Disney World's second park and opened in 1981. You'll probably recognise the globe-shaped icon at its entrance called Spaceship Earth. The second part of the park hosts World Showcase, which is made up of pavilions representing 11 countries around World Showcase Lagoon. Each country has its own shops, restaurants, architecture, attractions, and beautiful gardens which are representative of that country. There's also great debate about which way you walk around World Showcase. I prefer a clockwise journey, so for me it is Mexico, Norway, China, Germany, Italy, United States, Japan, Morocco, France, United Kingdom and Canada. I'd love to know what you think or about anything else in this video. As always, drop a comment down below. We are starting off in the United Kingdom and let's challenge to see how many plants I know. A lot have got signs on, so that's pomegranate just there. Something we would not grow in the UK really, or not outside of a greenhouse anyway. And then you can see the strawberries just on there. And then the blue is agapanthus, which are looking really lovely. There's one white one just in the middle of it, just here. So this is cool. We've got mango growing just in the back here. And you can actually, mango and pineapple together, and you can just see a pineapple there, which is really cool. And it's in a teacup, so it's like the herbal teas. From the UK will recognise this easily. Apple trees, we've got an abundance of apple trees in the UK. So ginger being grown just there. And lemon. Camellia, we've missed the camellia blossoms unfortunately. And lemongrass. I won't touch it because if everyone did that it'd be ruined, but that smells beautiful. And loads of hostas along here. I think it's nice when they keep the flowers on the hostas because I think they look good. A lot of people take those off. Also going to take a look at the topiaries. So there's some new ones for this year as well. So these aren't here all year round. These are just here for Flower and Garden Festival. So we're going to take a look. And just remember, these are all real plants. There's no fake foliage here. So I really like the way the marigolds have been put in here for a real bright colour there as well. So you can just see the orange of the marigolds now and then the red of the begonias. It's really amazing actually. So then we have got Winnie the Pooh and his friend Rabbit with the carrots. So if I just get closer, you can just see the plants they're made of. And here we have got Tigger with his stripes. And then a bird climbing all over Piglet there. So a real mix of plants here. So we've got irises over there called giant apostles irises. Just next to William himself. And then down here you've got mint, but I really like the way they've done some box hedges and some different hedges as well. And they've done the honeysuckle into sort of like bushes, which is really cool. Oh yeah, and there's more herbs just scattered in there as well. So there's rosemary there. I think that's some sort of mint in amongst the rosemary as well. So now I've actually read the sign, it does tell you why there's such a different selection of plants here and flowers. So they're all mentioned in different Shakespeare plays. So this is from Hamlet, and then there's another one around the other side from another play, I can't remember. And then lastly, in the United Kingdom, so just outside the Rose and Crown, which is the pub here, are the geraniums, where they're all red. Looks like I need a bit of deadheading going on, but really, really bright colours. More hanging baskets over there, so authentic to Britain. I really like over here, they've put the blue flowers around the crocodile, so it's like he's in the water, and then you've got irises here as well, which are water-loving plants as well. Okay, so let's go take a look at Canada. So this is the Canada Pavilion with its impressive totem pole up here. Again, lots of really bright flowers, bright colours here. Yellows and reds, oranges. Canada is a really beautiful pavilion. I like all this water here as well. So we've got more marigolds here, but then also dahlias. This is going to be a yellow dahlia, but it's a real, like, bush almost. Really good. So just reading this sign here, so it's just saying that these gardens are inspired by the spectacular Butchart Gardens of British Columbia. Beautiful. I'm really enjoying myself so far, just going through the pavilions and just seeing all of the beautiful gardens and plants. Just looking behind me, would you believe I'm actually in a theme park at the moment? It's amazing, isn't it? And also the pavilions are really quiet in the morning because, so I'm on early entry, so it's not even 9 o'clock yet. And most people are racing to get on, like Guardians of the Galaxy, Frozen, or Soarin', or Ratatouille. But yeah, it's just nice if you've got the time and the luxury of time just to have a look around while it's really quiet. So here are the Canada geese, and it looks like they've been made with succulents on top there. Let's just zoom in a little bit. Yeah, it's just variations and succulents. You can also see foxgloves over here as well. We should have had those in the UK pavilion, but they're quite short. I've never seen them so short and in flower, so it must be a variation. So again, there's lots of really rich colours with the yellows and the reds here, but then I really like the grass in the background here, which has got that real sort of almost purpley look to it, sort of purpley red. So here we've got Bambi under the trees here to symbolise the forest home, and in here you've got really sort of like pastel plantings. So you've got the pale blues, the pale pink here with the hydrangeas. In fact, there's quite a lot of hydrangeas in here. I like the way it's quite sort of wild, it's not uniform at all. Foxgloves again, you can just see them in there. And then Bambi in the topiary. Along with Thumper and also Flower amongst the flowers. It's a really, really beautiful display. So we've got some beehives here, and then just in the back of here are loads of cannas. So you've got the orange and the yellows just scattered throughout. So there's lots of yellows here because it is the honey garden, and you can see the jars of honey just in there amongst the beehives as well. And then you've also got these plants. So I think these are bird of paradise plants. The really, really big leaves. They're going to be gorgeous later in the year. In fact, it is a bird of paradise because I can just see, I'm going to have to lean over. Yeah, you can just see the shape of the flowers coming out there. Just going to say good morning to some Disney ducks who are extremely chill here, and why shouldn't they be? And then if you just look behind them, you can see the floating flower displays, and then Spaceship Earth there in the background. I mean, this is impressive, isn't it? See a lot of tropical planting just ahead. So let's see what topiary is here. Oh, and it is Encanto. This is very much one of the Disney movies at the moment. See the Busy Lizzies in there, some pots as well with the succulents in those blue pots. In fact, this character who I should know the name of, she's made out of succulents as well. And this guy's hair is also made of very fine little succulents. That is so cool. Yeah, really, really tropical looking, and got the coleus in the pots just there. So this isn't part of the Flower and Garden Festival, but the ferns on this tree, they're just thriving on there. And then you also, just a little bit higher up, you can just see these little air plants. Let me scoot around. Yeah, you just see these air plants that are just making their home on the tree. And we're just going to be heading into Mexico in a second. So here we've got Miguel and Dante, and of course a load of marigolds because they feature so heavily in the film as well. And of course he's got his guitar just there. Yeah, it's so good. There's a really clever little feature here as you head into Mexico on this bridge. So you'll see it's covered in marigolds, and if you've seen the film Coco with their Day of the Dead celebrations, you'll remember they walk across the Marigold Bridge to go and find their deceased loved ones. So in the Mexico Pavilion, just to the right of the pyramid, it's quite easy to miss this little garden, but it's essential you come in here because it is really, really beautiful. There's massive palms and bamboo, bromeliads, and there's also a lot of orchids as well. In fact, a really impressive display of orchids, and it's great to see them growing outside because in the UK we just would never be able to do that. So let's have a look. I love how spiky the trunk is on this tree. It definitely does not want anyone stealing its fruit. So that is Mexico, some really, really lush foliage and some beautiful orchids. Okay, let's head on around. By the way, I started this video in UK only because that is just by International Gateway, and I just wanted to turn left. I don't want to turn right. We have reached Norway, and you'll notice something quite unusual about the roofs here. There's a couple here, and there's another one just over here I'll show you. So yeah, they have got grass all over them. These grass roofs are authentic to Scandinavia. They're actually called sod roofs, and apart from looking pleasant, they act as insulation, so in the summer it keeps the building cool, and in the winter keeps the building warm. So because we are in Norway and it is the home to the Frozen Ever After ride, you can see lots of white planting to represent the snow, and then you've got these really sort of silvery leaf plants here, which I should know the name of. Drop a comment, yeah, just in these snowflakes just here. And we have made it to China. So what are we going to see in China? Of course, bonsai. Let's take a look. Yeah, so this tiny little tree over here is 25 years old. Let's see if that's the oldest. Oh no, that one's beat over here at 30 years.
So I have found the oldest. So this tree down here is 90 years old. I mean, this one up here isn't bad at 50 years old. But yeah, they're really, really impressive. I mean, it is a true miniature. If you saw that, you would just think it was like a full-size tree. So as we head into China, you can see some bamboos around, and I can also see a panda topiary, which I love. I think there's two. Oh, okay, let's look at these. Actually, 3 panda topiaries here, and this guy here. In fact, they've all got a little bit of bamboo just in their paw, ready to eat. How fun are they? I wonder if it's going to be a mother and 2 cubs. There are lots of lily pads just here. Some are flowering too. In fact, there's one like pinky purple one over in the middle there. Can you just see that? Oh, actually, there's a few over that side too. And then just here, I think this is some variation on papyrus, which loves the water. In fact, you can see how it's like thriving all around it. So all around the pond there's these clumps of bamboo, but there's this one over here, looks, it's got really big leaves, but quite unusual stems. I'm going to take a closer look. Yes, so I have just come around to the other side of the pond here to have a look. So actually the leaves aren't too unusual, they are quite large, but it's when you look at the stems here, they're sort of like tyres stacked one on another. So I'm really pleased there's a sign here that says Dwarf Buddha Belly Bamboo. So you can kind of see why. It's like the rolls of fat on a belly from a Buddha. And there's also a lot of people who carve like initials and names. In fact, there's loads of them. So I don't know if that's a cultural thing. Some seem to be in Chinese and some seem to be in English. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be doing that, but it's a really unusual plant. I've never seen this before. So we're a little bit early for these irises, but you just know they're going to be a really gorgeous purple colour when they come out with like that little hint of yellow. And this, I don't know if it's it's almost like I think it is a grass. It could even be oh, actually, do you know what? I think it's a bamboo with very, very fine leaves. So that was China, so more interesting stuff in there than I thought. So what is next? Oh, we're stuck. The bridge is up, so what happens is the boats sometimes have to come through, and also the barges from the show. So the fireworks show happens in the middle of World Showcase Lagoon, but then they have to take them in, like to do servicing on them and get ready. So that's why that bridge is up. I've never seen the bridge up before. It's really big, isn't it? Ooh, it is getting warm on my little trip around World Showcase. So we've made it into Germany with a little bit of shade actually, which is good. And who is in Germany? It's Snow White. So I've just seen Snow White around the corner, meeting and greeting. But I'm interested in the topiaries, and I am here now. Let's take a look. Here is Snow White with Dopey, who looks very, very happy with himself over here. Really traditional planting all around. Bit of lavender over here. Is it lavender? Oh my goodness, I'm saying it's lavender. Oh, I don't want to touch it. Oh, I'll just have a little touch. Yes, it is. And then here are the dwarfs, so I'm going to get this wrong now. There's a lovely lizard on the nose of that one just there. So I think this is Doc with the glasses. I think that's Grumpy. Yeah, I'm sure that's Grumpy. Then we've got Happy, he's easy. Then we've got, I think that's Sleepy. And then I think that's sneezy, so that must be bashful. So in Germany, with their hanging baskets, they've put ferns in them, which I really like. I think that looks really cool. In Germany, they have this miniature railway, so all the trees are they're not quite bonsai, but they're very cleverly kept really nice and small. So I suppose they are almost a bonsai. So I've just come to the sign of what this is. So this is the Italian garden. So everything you need to make beautiful spaghetti sauce. So yeah, that is so cool. I love that. And then you've got thyme down here. So that's why the seasonings, so the herbs are mixed in with the vegetables as well. Really clever. Fennel. I mean, that is some good fennel there. Flipping out. And around here, I can see something. I think this is eggplant. Let's take a look. Okay, they look very, very healthy. You've got your rosemary up here. I mean, that is a big pot of rosemary. Flipping out. The healthy pot of kale just there. And then that's a mix up here. So that's got fennel. Oh, there's some chives down there too. That's a real mix pot there. So there's chives. And then you've got the chilies. I love chili plants. Basil. Basil appropriate. We're just about to go into the Italian pavilion. And now she's got the peppers here. So some are green, some are red still. And then a massive, oh hang on, let me get the camera right. A massive pot there of tomatoes with the marigolds as well. So I've arrived in Italy and I don't think we're anywhere near done seeing everything. I think this is a really long video, there's a lot to see. So in Italy, a lot of the plants are in terracotta pots because that is where terracotta comes from. And it is really, really colourful. So here we go. So there's some really fine little petunias just in here. So there's some more dahlias in here as well. A really lovely sort of pinky, peachy colour. So I'm just waiting to have a look at the Lady and the Tramp topiaries. And here, I really like the way that the rosemary has been used to make like a little sort of hedge, like a little border. And it smells gorgeous, so you know, when people brush past that, gorgeous. So I think Italy has to be the most colourful pavilion so far, with all of their pots just bursting with colour. They must just be deadheading all day, literally. I've seen so many gardeners out this morning. I imagine they start quite early in the morning, so they avoid the heat of the day. So we're at the American pavilion now, and there is a really cute little garden around here we'll just take a quick look at. And I can also see another topiary, and it is Princess Tiana. So these are some quite interesting planters just here, and you can just see the camellias coming out. It's sort of almost like a sort of shield of camellias. It's really good. So we're now in Japan, and there are some more bonsai as well. So this one here is 30 years old. But then they have got China beet, because here, this one is 150 years old, which is absolutely incredible. You can see the roots at the base there as well. Keeping all of these gardens in pristine condition is a massive job. I've seen quite a few gardeners out this morning. In fact, I've seen a lot of gardeners out this morning. So I reckon they start early to beat the heat of the day later in the day. But yeah, fair play to them. Right, so I'm in Japan still, just wandering into the pavilion, and I have found the Koi carp pond. So let me show you this now. So I don't think I've ever been up here before. Oh, a little bit more bonsai. But yeah, this is just behind the koi pond. In fact, there's loads of bonsai up here. Loads more. And lots of bamboos as well. But I don't think I've ever been into this little section. So I've just found out what this is. I thought it was sort of like just something to make a bit of noise and relaxation in the garden, but it's actually a deer scarer. And that's why there's all the like wind chimes on it as well. My mum needs this because she has such a problem with deer in her garden. But yeah, how cool is that? So an old-fashioned Japanese deer scarer. I was just wondering where the topiary was in Japan, and then I found this guy, and what is great, you can get really close to him as well. He is so impressive, and again, he's made up of succulents, so you can just see these succulents just here. And it is now quiz time. Drop a comment down below. What are these seed pods? Is it vanilla? I'm not sure, but let me know. So welcome to Morocco. So you've got these really cool palm trees here in a four formation in this courtyard. I love these tiles, the blues and the yellows. A lot of orange planting here as well. Let's go through, see what we can find. And just on the edge of Morocco, we've got these really impressive banana plants. You can see just here, really lovely sort of variegated foliage on this one, which is gorgeous. And then, I don't know the name of this one, but I really like the leaves in it. Massive. More banana just there. We've done a lap of the World Showcase. I'm just heading into France just to see. I know they have got some really good topiaries here with the Beauty and the Beast characters, so let's just go see those. And here we are, Cogsworth and Lumiere. And behind them there's this rather cool box hedge maze as well. And then a little bit further into the pavilion, you can see Belle here with the Beast. And these flowers look like little miniature sunflowers. If anyone knows what they are, let me know. Yeah, they're definitely sunflowers, but they're just like little mini ones, quite bushy as well. So here is Miss Piggy and Kermit. Kermit on a bike. I love this. very pretty dress. And for her feather boa, that has actually been made out of like air plants. I don't know the exact names of them. You can see there in these sort of purpley green, pale green colours for her feather boa. That is so clever. What a nice little touch. And over here we've got Donald in the kitchen garden. Lots of plants we've already seen with the eggplant, the chard, the tomatoes, and then you can also see he's not very happy because there is a bee just on his head there. So no botanical trip around Epcot would be complete without Living with the Land, so we're just going to do that now.
Living with the Land is an opening day attraction that has a cult following. You travel on a gentle boat journey learning about plants. It teaches guests how the plants around us affect our daily lives, starting in the rainforest and then farms, followed by agriculture, and then sailing into the greenhouses, or as Disney calls them, living laboratories. I think only Disney could make an attraction that is basically watching plants grow. And a fun little fact, some of the vegetables from the greenhouses are served in some of the restaurants in Epcot as well.
The future of agriculture may include innovative ideas like this vertical growing system. Plants grown in this way use a fraction of the space required by traditional growing methods. That saves water and increases production.
Thanks for joining me on this trip around Epcot. If you've enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. I'd love to hear what you've got to say as well, so please drop a comment if you haven't already, and I will see you soon.